We're going to talk about composition of functions. Previously, we were talked about combining functions, and you may think, oh, maybe this is the same thing. This is different, a little more intense, but there's nothing really complicated about this. If you recall, we had f of x, and we were calling this thing a slot. This is a slot where a number goes, and then f tells the number what to do. Do we square it, cube it, subtract 5, that kind of thing. G of x is a number. It depends on what x is, what number it is, but it's still a number. And I can put this g of x into this slot. And I can talk about f of g of x. And the thing to do right now is do some examples. Let's suppose f of x is equal to x squared minus 5. And let's suppose g of x is equal to x plus 2. To find f of g of x, I'm going to say, well, what does f say to do? F says to square it and subtract 5. So I'm going to square something and subtract 5. But what that something is g of x. That's what's in the slot. But g of x is x plus 2. So that's equal to x plus 2 quantity squared minus 5. Which I can then FOIL, and that's going to be x plus 2 times x plus 2. First is x squared. Last is 4. Outside and inside is 2x, and 2x is plus 4x. But then I have to subtract the 5. So, finishing off, f of g of x is going to be x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 5 is minus 1. You will find that f of g of x and g of f of x, you can do both of them, but they're going to be different. G of f of x is going to be, that's where I take x and I add 2 to it. So I'm going to take something and add 2, but that something is f of x, which is x squared minus 5. That there. Really running out of room on my board. Let's now go all the way over here and write g of f of x is going to be x squared minus 5 plus 2, which is x squared minus 3. That's g of f of x. Notice that these two are different. Order matters here. You cannot flip them around as if you were multiplying functions. It's the order matters. Now, what goes inside the slot is what determines what your composition of functions will look like.